Well, you're not helping anyone by standing here talking. Get to it.
Hey, cool your transistors.
We're already on our way.
Protectobots, transform!
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the XTransbots MX-86 Dr. Paragon, and this is their take on, is it First Aid? First Aid. This is a very good, solid figure that they've made. There are some fiddly things in the transformation, but the fact that nothing broke, I'm really happy about that, and the fact that it looks good in combined mode, which is what I care the most about. But we will talk about this, talk about the pluses, minuses, the ups and downs. I did get this from Shozy's store. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. If you put TH in the support your reviewer box, it helps the channel out. But let's get into taking a look at this guy. Coming up. Alright, here is the box, the packaging. You can see the figure on the front, a little something on the side. You get sort of a GONS kind of bio going on there. Some nice writing. Embossed, whatever it says. And then advertising for an old figure. So, there it goes. Here is Paragon out of the packaging and shipped in alt mode. So, I think it's actually pretty good. If you want to get this thing and just combine it, then all you have to do is push this button here, pop it apart, and build your arm. So I think that is where 80%, 70% of people that are buying this really just want to combine it. So looking pretty good. I messed around with it. I think I might have popped this out of place messing with the doors. But yeah, it does look really good overall. It's just an ambulance. Ambulance. Looks good. It's funny that windshield the way it is. I'd rather just see that than a whole bunch of just junk and kibble. That looks clean, but it just looks like I don't know. Maybe it's an auto driving vehicle for sure. And the blue matches kind of what the car has been doing. We've got some paint on here, which is great. You don't have to put a sticker on there or anything like that. Pretty clean on the bottom, a little gap in there, but of course it's nice to be able to pop it open. Speaking of popping it open, you can pop open doors, and which I'm playing with these doors. I think I misaligned stuff, but yeah, it's one of those things. I don't think it needs to really happen, but it really is integrated into the transformation relatively well, I guess. Transformation is probably not so much fun, but it is what it is. Also, you can open up this in the back, so there's that. And well, since we're back here, got like some weapon storage. That gun looks painted too. Fold it and just stick it in there like so, and then we'll be able to close the door on it. Holds the gun, weapon storage, and we've got some clear red pieces up here. It's the arms, and yeah, it gets the job done. I guess we should do a little comparison. I've got some fun stuff to compare it to also. For the comparisons, we're going to compare them to just a standard prime that's Magic Square and gets the job done right there. Scale-wise, that sort of works for me. Then we can bring him out of here. Let's put in Takara's ratchet, which makes a lot of sense because they're pretty much the same thing. There's pretty much ambulances, and that works. It works for me. Gets the job done. And then I'm going to change this up a little bit and compare them to Fuzz. My Fuzz just kind of like popped apart in the hood area, just sitting on the shelf. That's where Fuzz gets in, where it fits in. And then we know Groove's never going to make any sense because it's all based on the bot modes for the most part. But this is actually MMC's, and that's XTransbots. I got like 12 figures. I just need to transform them, get them in the mode I want them in down the road. But anyhow, that's the team and how it's shaping up, sort of. All right, we're going to get this into arm mode because it's easiest this way. But you push in on this button here, and this pops out. Now, the thing is, I already had it undone, and it was really just held together by some tabs here. But getting it back in, I had some trouble, and I think most people are right. It's really easiest to put back together when you have it transform back into bot mode, or at least halfway to bot mode. So I'm probably going to have to do that when I transform it back. But then we bring in this guy here. This one right here. So we're going to do a little stuff with this arm. And we're going to raise up the camera a bit so we can see what's going on here. But with this arm, we're going to flip this hand around. It's real kind of some simple stuff going on right here. We just need to plug this top part in, and then this here plugs in, plug it in, and then this folds around and should tab in nicely. Am I missing something? There it is. The little tabs in this fit into those grooves right there. There it is. So these tabs need to go into those slots, and then it should hold pretty well. And we have an arm and a hand and all this fun stuff. And it looks good. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with how they've done it. Still seems like we're not sure how this is going to go together. Probably like that. That's probably how it's going to work. And then you're going to have the butterfly, kind of a butterfly with it. That's probably the intention of all of this, from the way I look at it and see it, and from the pictures and what we've analyzed. But I'm going to tighten that back on there a little bit better. It's all coming off because we're going to have to turn this into bot mode. Alright, so transforming this thing into bot mode. Problem is that I can't reconnect this. You're not getting enough pressure. You can't get it deep, just can't get it deep enough in there. So this is why you're probably going to see everybody doing it like this, which probably is... I mean, it's not the end of the world or anything to have to do it like this, but it is a thing. So we need to undo these, get them out of the way for time being. Open this up, set the gun aside. Do not lose that gun. And then we have to start with the untabbings of everything, the under and overs, the opening ups of stuff. The legs are really strange, but I mean, theoretically and conceptually, they're not. It's not really hard conceptually. Everything's hard in the actual, the doing it of it is the hard part when it comes to it. So let's just get to one of these crazy legs. And a camera in the way. So we are going to be rotating this piece here around, and it's got to move past a lot of stuff, and trying to figure out what's more advantageous, to go forward or backwards with it. I think backwards is going to be better, but you want to pull this out to where it is going. This is moved out a bit. Everything needs to be out of the way, and then it starts moving, and then you got to get this. There's some moving past some stuff here to make it work, which is not fun. At this point, you can actually flex just a bit to get this here out of the way, and then you can keep rotating it around. What's going to happen is that this is going to be split into two, kind of like this. But we have to get it all the way around. And then fold that back down. And we're sort of there. Now we got to get this into, this is folded up. And this is going to have to go into here. But let's get the foot out. And then, easier said than done. And then we need to get this down into here. And then this is going to tab in. This part here is going to fold over, and we have to get the tabs into this. There's the slot, and here's the tab. And that mushroom peg is for a whole different, for the alt mode, not for the leg. So it looks like you might need it, but you don't need it. Yeah, that should be good for that one. To roll this around here, now we have to play a little maneuvering. So slide that to about there. Maneuver this down a bit. And then this is working for me. Then this is going to have to come out. So this I'm going to have to work on that just a second. So this is going to have to go all the way over like this. And then this has to fold around, which I think I missed the boat on that. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get it in there just right, like so. And then keep this out as I bring it down to tab in. Just everything's got to be precise with this. And I'm sure I made some other stuff come on tab trying to get all that to work. So it's got to get all this realigned again the way we had it. I guess we should have done the front first and then the back second, but it's coming along. This piece here's got to be aligned. That's got to be aligned, and then ultimately tabbing this in, solidifying that. And this tabs on. No, yeah, you do the front last because that tabs on the front. So there it is. For the most part, one leg. It was probably not even easy to watch, but I'm going to go ahead and do the other leg. Now, at this point, these two can be reconnected for holy matrimony. And see, that's kind of the problem we ran into with this thing. We want to open up the doors. I do remember with Minosaur, the splitting of those, it was almost impossible to get one of them apart. I can't remember which one, but it was a challenge and a half getting those apart back in the day. Okay, so we're going to start opening up all of this stuff. And this thing is going to like spread out and accordion out. This is already enough in my way, but spreading and accordioning out all of this stuff here, we need to separate the arms, get them sort of out of the way there. In order to free up the arms, we are going to have to untab the chest area, and then with that we can get the head out. Flip it around. We can go ahead and slide the chest up. It kind of feels like an upward movement on the chest. And now we've got a lot of room here to move around the arms. Yeah, because these little brackets were kind of holding it in place. And so we're going to want to get the arms out of here. Like so. Just kind of reverse the positioning of the brackets. To get them out. And we got to see what we're doing here. There we go. We got the arms out of there. Then what we are going to be able to get to do now is we got to fold them seats down. I flipped all the way around. And then this stuff here is going to fold to the back. So we got the back part done. This here is going to flip around and be ready to go into the top part there. This stuff here has to come down and fold back like so. Set all of this stuff up. I guess we can tab it in now, but I think it doesn't really matter, but we could wait on that. Clean that up here in a bit. Now we got this needs to flip around, which I'm too low, but flipping this around, and this is how it's all going to connect. So got to get all this stuff in the correct alignment here so it all can connect. I keep going off camera there, so I'm trying to keep it in camera. So the way it works, look at these slots, and those tabs go into those slots. That's how it works. And that's to keep it aligned and solidify this. Then this is going to come up here and tab in, and you got the neck also has to clear that and go up and over to tab in, and that tabs in. And then probably knock some stuff out of whack with the back. The back's out of whack. Got to put everything, kind of what we just did, back in place for the back, which is why I guess didn't need to happen earlier. So yeah, that's in place because this folds so that it gets that contour and it tabs in and pegs in. Now all we got really are the arms left to do, so we're going to bring down the arms. Now it's on a double joint, because you know Super 7 wouldn't make this because it has double joint. So it's a tight joint. I guess you're just gonna have to manhandle it down. It's a tight joint, which is good. And then bring this up. Now we're gonna get the hand out. A couple of things you can do is part of it you're going to be pushing this in, and that could pop the hand out for you, or you can just pull the hand out and then put that in. But I feel like that's a better way to do it. And then, of course, you make the hand, and then do the same thing on the other side. And I'm not going to complain about tight joints because I like tight joints. So, I mean, it's actually a good thing, because if they're not tight, they're gonna, if they're not ratcheted, they're gonna go soft over time. Soft joints. But all right, we've basically made it there. I'm gonna look them over and make sure that I didn't miss anything, and then we'll be back. We'll be back. All right, so here he is. Bot mode, right out of transformation. And I've got one serious problem with him. He just looks too good. I don't want this set for individual bots. I'm only going after it for combined mode, and the fact that he looks good in his bot mode. And Groove doesn't look bad. In fact, even Fuzz, with all of its issues, doesn't look bad in bot mode. But this guy looks great. I would say out of the team so far, the best looking one. Like, clean from pretty much every single angle. I didn't do anything with these. I noticed that you could probably slide it into here or something, but it's not hurting anything, just chilling like that. So I'm just gonna let them chill like that. But yeah, really clean looking figure overall. The transformation is probably not the easiest or most fun. A little bit scary on the legs there, and I can see that it could be problematic if you don't take your time on that. But it cleans up really well. I mean, it gets the job done, and it's a different way to do Streetwise. Definitely different than G1, that's for sure. And it goes from condensing down a big fat van to a very good looking figure. So that works. That actually works for me, and it looks good. But let's take a look at a few of these paint apps here. We've got paint. All the red is paint. Everything that's red is painted, including the head. And that is phenomenal. It's fantastic. It looks great. A little bit of blue paint right here. Kind of carried over from the alt mode, all of that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, looking phenomenal. And I didn't really care about the bot mode at all, but I'm impressed. And yeah, it's definitely the best of their, best of the team. Articulation, head sculpt side to side, up just to that, down just to that. Shoulders go all the way out to here. We can get 360, and forgot to show he has a butterfly. That works two different ways. Double jointed elbows, we've already shown that. I don't want to go back down that route. They're really tight. And then we have an independent semi-pointing finger, a curvy pointy finger. The rest of the fingers are right here. I'm okay with that. It's not the end of the world. And then a thumb that's a little opposable. A little bit of movement in the thumb. Or yeah, that works. And it helps give it a little bit of holding to to the weapon. And then waist swivel, and then you got to kind of shimmy it up to get the av crunch, but you get an av crunch out of it. They engineered it in, which by the way, these parts, there's a lot of paint rub on the white piece there. I just want to point that out, the red paint rub there. And we can flip up the hip flaps, right? So fully frictioned out to here. I bet you if I took the time, I can get him to do a ninja kick and stand on his own. I don't know if I have enough time today to get him into that and make that happen. Young samurai, trust the materials. And he moves without fall. I'm ready to catch him. Ready to catch him. Anyway, back this far on a ratchet, up this far on a ratchet, thigh swivel, knees on a double, but yeah, it's not getting you full double range. And the foot down, front, back, side to side. Getting what you need, and you saw how strong that foot was. Held him for the kick. Accessories here, we have this gun, tabs in, holds nice, gets the job done. It's a transforming gun on a transformer, which is always fun. And I think I got the medical bed set up correctly. So now we just need an unwilling participant. I don't know, is Groove going to work? I mean, he's got a giant backpack, and so he doesn't fit so well. But, man, you get the point. It's just like a quick little, what can we do with this part? And they did it. All right, for comparison, here he is next to the measuring stick in Optimus Prime. And I think the height's okay. I could have used him a little bigger, but it's still fine with me. And I'm okay with it. I do like the fact that I didn't mention it. He has die-cast in it, but he's still pretty lightweight. With the little bit of die-cast they use, still pretty lightweight for an arm, and I'm okay with it. And so there's all those factors. I really just care about the combined mode. But there is a measuring stick and a groove. So this has been my look at the XTransbots MX-86, Dr. Paragon, and this is the third installment in their Defensor Combiner series, and solid, the best of the three so far. I think that I haven't really messed around with Groove much, but it is what it is. Groove's got a giant backpack. It's just part of the character and stuff. Also, you can call them Night Rangers from the GoBots, but this guy is looking really good from all angles, as you can see. Transformation's a little bit weird, but it gets the job done, and nothing broke. So I'm really kind of pleased with this guy. Lightweight enough, heavy enough to feel solid like a masterpiece, lightweight enough to be a decent arm. The arm attachment is fine. I don't really think it needs to be a medical bay. And with this, I'm just impressed with the figure. I think it looks good, it feels good, solid overall figure. And yeah, it's XTransbots. You got to move a little bit of plastic around some other plastic. Sometimes it is what it is. It's just the way XTransbots does their stuff, but looking pretty much spot on in both modes, and the ability to store the gun in the alt mode means you can store the gun in combined mode. But I did get this as Shozy Store. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours, and if you want to, this is the third installment, so you'd have to like retroactively buy the other versions, or just get this guy standalone. But if you use TH for your code, helps the channel out. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Try to hang out.
Humans always fighting each other. It makes no sense.
If it did, we wouldn't have been asked to help the police.
Take it easy, and I'll have you fixed up in no time flat. First aid to Metroplex. Open the outer wall. Can you transform, Blades?
I'll try. Do what you have to, First Aid. I can take it.
Just rest and recharge yourself, Blades. In about a day or so, you'll be fine. Intruders!
You're a pacifist, but I don't believe there's a Transformer who won't fight for his life.
I don't believe in fighting. I'm a medic, not a warrior.
And you'll die for your beliefs.